Love you. Coming in next. Okay, guys. Yo-yo. Couple things. I'm going to keep my energy off of this right now. So, I just want to wrap this scarf around me. I can see you, but you can't see me. So, what I just experienced, I will tell you, I just experienced for the first time ever during that reading. Okay? There's no question. What I'm gathering, my throat is so sore right now all of a sudden. What I'm gathering is definitely a transmitter. And that actually came in the read last week. Well, just the following day when we were using, within the last 3 reads. When I was here and gathering this, I kept saying something about a second chance. But I'm like, I don't know if it's a second chance. I don't know what this is. It definitely looks like a second chance. So I just wanted to clarify that. I only went back into that read to see certain things that I was, like I wanted to just go in to see how I was and how I was experiencing certain things. When I went back, it looked like there was a letter M in this crystal. Actually, it looks like an X. And these are not runes. So, there is a second chance for whatever's being transmitted. I don't know anything about being a spiritual transmitter. I'm just learning myself. It's clear that I have that gift. Now, I just figured that out today, okay? There's still so much research I need to do. There's so much more than that I'm starting to figure out. This is the part that kind of creeped me out because at one point during the video, the wooden stick had fallen and it was wedged in between videos. It was wedged in between rocks. So I hear a knock at like 4:30 and I just happen to like scan through to see if I saw anything. I happen to just stop it up and I just wrote this down, 44555. And then at the end of the read, I wanted to actually see my face because I remember just being like, I don't know if it was like a comatose, I don't know what it was. So listen to these knocks. It's like, I'm assuming it's a wake-up call. It is a little freaky. Why is my Bluetooth on? It just wasn't a minute ago. So, growth, energy, maximum strength, like kosher. Okay. So I'm going to start it again. This is a knock and a squeak, like somebody opens my door. It's a little creepy. I'm not going to lie. The sun is wholeness. Swahili. These are for growth, energy, maximum strength, like kosher. Okay, here's another one. It's a 7. Do I have That did play. Well, there was that one. Dead silent, clear as day. That was a knock. And here's the last one. My phone's on slow-mo. I need to process and recoup, and I'll be back. I love you. I need to process and recoup, and I'll be back. I love you guys. Bye. So it must be right before that. I need to process and recoup. Oh yeah, it's not even starting now. I'll be back. It's like within the next 10 seconds. Oh, it keeps bringing us back to this. I'm going to let you guys go. I'm extremely lightheaded. Obviously, there's stuff to talk about, but hello. I feel like I'm gonna even puke. That was a lot. Did anybody hear that knocking during the video? I mean, it's so obvious. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? One. What was that? 3? Was that 3? What's this one? This is knock and then squeak. These are for growth, energy, maximum strength. Kosher. That was 3 too. So it's knocking 3 times. I need to process and recoup, and I need to process and recoup, and okay, I'll be back. Did you guys hear that during the video at all? And I didn't even watch the whole thing between there and there. I just happened to catch it. My door was open the whole time. It wasn't shut. It's been open for 2 days. I typically always close it. That's the weird thing. That's why I noticed, right? It sounds like the door being sucked in and out with bangs, especially as it catches the drift from another. See, yeah, I don't know what that was. And then it was a squeak, knock, 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 coming in real quick. You know what I mean? Bim, 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 I'm here. It was just, I don't know. And there was no reason for that to fall. So I don't know. But that's just something I picked up on. I don't know if you guys picked up on that during the read. I certainly didn't hear any of that. There's just certain things that just can't be debunked. But 9/11 spirit, typically spiritual meaning of knocking, it's usually knock negative energy out of certain stuff. Knock 2, 3, or 4 times. It's a new perspective, when spirit comes knocking. Three knocks usually means good things and new beginnings. So it's another sign for you guys, and I heard it 3 times. So that's 3 knocks 3 times. Here we go again with the 3s. Remember I was mentioned earlier about the 3s with what's her name when I was going through, when I was talking about something, right when I was writing what I was going to write, it's 333. So these 3s are No joke. Okay. Um, I don't know what void it is sending who where, but my own brain has a lot to process right now. What I just experienced. It's obviously a gift and a blessing, but it's a lot for me to wrap my head around. But the main reason of me coming back on was to, yeah, I've been seeing twos a lot, was to let you know that this was a second chance. Typically high horse, like you're gone. But as I was reading, and it's under the video, you should read everything I read about Stargate transmitters and stuff like that. But there's different there's different type of transmitters. Some are like indigo children, some are rainbow children, some are starseed children. A lot of the indigos are going to start partaking now. The stars and planets are talking to you guys. They're trying so hard to get the message out because it's almost like calling you home. It's now time. You agreed to this. Okay, so it's going to start happening, I think, quicker than you'd like. So there is some information at the bottom of that video about transmitters. I think the tricky thing is going to figure out what kind you are, because there's quite a few different kinds. So again, under that video, the mission of transmitters, and what I gathered was Stargate transmitters, just because of what I'm reading and gathering in the time period. And like I've said before, some of you is the Pleiades energy, Orion, Cyrus. It just goes on and on. And then it talks about the mission of the transmitters, and then there's a link here that I found. So as I'm like researching this and time, eras, places, and what I'm reading, it really is like I've said before, just delivering messages where it's universal energy, the all here. They knew this was going to happen. So it's in our soul contracts. Some transmitters access the Akashic records. Some work with just healing. Some work with, there's so many different things. Some work with chakras. All I know is that whatever was going on right now, today, that was so intense for me. What I was experiencing, like even with like my hands, it's almost like I couldn't even move my hand. My hands didn't feel the same, but from what I read, the energy comes out from the hands and goes up. So you're definitely being called in. So I'm just FYI, guys, this is not just happening to me with this global ascension. It's just not. So some transmitters come in as earth beings. You have walk-ins. You have, there's so many, there's not a whole bunch of different types, but there's different types. And now there's blueprint ones that are different than the Akashic records, the ones that tap into all these things, right? So you're going to have all these spiritual transmitters now that are being released on 3D. A majority of our lifetimes have always been 60, 70, or 90. It's like the first time we experience 3D or 4D because we typically don't come back here. We came back here for a purpose. So like I said, with this global ascension, we all came in for a reason. Like this was already it was already written in the stars how humanity needed help. And spiritual transmitters are here to help and heal humanity. And that's exactly what came out. And that's what I've been talking about for months. So this is not just going to happen to me, FYI. And I do like the knocks now. It's got a good symbolic, strong meaning. But this whole time, I thought I was working within like my Viking energy and certain stuff. I'm not. It's still it's tracing from my I almost said vegan. It's tracing from my ancient Egyptian era. And the more research I'm doing, how it was like Swahili, that's linked to Nubian energy. And I talked about like black. I was seeing black. Like I was looking and it kept pulling me to Cleopatra, Isis, so many different things. And I'm just mind blown. And Isis is actually known for magic and healing powers and having the capacity to change global events, to change global societies through the power of words. There's just all this stuff we've been talking about for months now flowing in. But Isis is actually pagan. Guarantee a lot of us didn't know that. And there's so many other things. I mean, I always knew I personally worked with feminine, strong feminine energy, Venus, Aphrodite, Isis. We've been talking about this for years. I stopped talking about it for a long time. But now this is where this energy is coming from. Little did I know. I was like, this is just my pagan roots. But I knew I was working with my Egyptian roots too. Months ago, when I saw myself coming out of the tomb, going back in, coming across Nefertiti, certain stuff, right? So you just know. That's why I said you're gonna start feeling it. And the whole Swahili, and I was talking about like a certain tongue language. And as I was looking up something, because I've been going back and forth with Isis for a couple months researching things. And today was the first time where it came up where Isis actually had her own tongue. Or was it Cleopatra? Pretty sure it was Isis. Dialect. Okay. So I don't know where I'm going with certain stuff, but I even told myself only if I actually looked into this 2 years ago when I told myself to look into this. But she had her own native tongue. It was Cleopatra. She had her own native tongue. Originated with Greek. But I'm pretty sure Cleopatra was fluent in like 9 or 10 languages. But like when the Swahili came in and the Nubian and all that, that's when I was looking into not ISIS, but I did look at a couple things with ISIS today. Okay. Exploring it even further when it comes to like certain stuff. But she was the goddess of the moon, life, magic, spells, motherhood, healing. I don't even like. It's all coming together for me, guys. I don't. I'm assuming it's probably gonna start coming together for you. I think it was Marissa that was on, and I just looked at the chat real quick, and she's like, "I swear the stars were talking to me today." Yep, you're not crazy. They were definitely talking to you today. So see what and I didn't have stars talk to me today that I was aware of. It was like an obvious thing for her. So everybody's gonna get this stuff in different ways. But even when I started this spiritual journey, I was always pulled to all the goddesses, knowing that I could work with all the goddesses, especially Aphrodite. Persephone comes into play every once in a while. But now I feel like it's taken on the energy of queens because I'm going from Nefertiti to now Cleopatra energy. And both of them are kind of, they have similar traits, believe it or not. Similar qualities, similar gifts of things. And it's ironic because a couple days ago when I was purchasing this, I actually picked up 2 statues of Cleopatra and Isis. They don't even come in for like another week or 2. One comes from Egypt, and I don't remember where the other one comes from. So I'm getting my signs before, after, all sorts of things. What I'm more or less interested in that I haven't been able to find yet is what is written, what hieroglyphics are, that came out strange, are on Isis's tomb. I can't make it out, and I'm Googling it like crazy, and I can't find it. So if anybody finds that, if you could email me, I would really appreciate it. I don't know, it just feels important. So everyone's energy, you're going to be working with different energy. Apparently, I'm working from the beginning with the Egyptian energy. And little did I know that a majority of goddesses were pagan. It was like mind-blowing, because when we look things up, we don't look for certain stuff like that unless you're actually looking for it. When we're actually like Googling names in history, like that stuff's not in there unless you actually word it a certain way to actually find it. It's very interesting how I keep coming across things. So, when you're looking up stargates, I do want to tell you, if you happen to think that you're a walk-in, don't let it freak you out. Okay? Just try to work with it. So, on that note, I'm going to let you go. I have a lot to process. And I'm sure you guys will have a lot to process. The energy is going to start coming in the next few weeks. There's no question. If it hasn't already started. I think it already started. But it's coming in spurts too. Just like karma. So it just depends on where you're at. Where your planets are. It depends on really your birth chart when this is coming in for you. But it's going to be relatively soon. You're not going to have to wait like that, I don't think. It's not even a waiting game. It's just, it's a lot to process, guys. But it's exciting. I haven't been able to find much on like certain processes or how you should clear your energy when it's said and done. I don't know if that's just something, it's your own ritual, it's your own routine. So I'm still looking for that type of information. And I'm sure with me it will subside. Like the whole nauseous and lightheaded and finding my balance, and it's way more than ascension at this point for some of us. It's an adjustment period. This could take months for me to figure out how to go back to not feeling the way I felt after that reading what I experienced. So again, like there's there's I gotta do a lot more research. I can't find any like symbols or runes or stones with hieroglyphic symbols. I did learn what transmitters. A lot of transmitters are empathic, psychic, clairvoyant. All the stuff I talked about in the last couple of reads. So we're all transmitting different ways at this point. Mine was just clear as day obvious. So I'm assuming you guys' will probably be clear as day obvious too. If they didn't want you to know what I was doing or certain gifts, I wouldn't be having this conversation with you. And this, again, just happened today. So it's a lot for me to even absorb. I don't even know how to work with that yet. So there's that. I'm sure there's plenty information on it. I'm just trying to process too many things at one time. At one time, it's just not going to work that way for me. Dizzy headaches. That's been happening to me a lot too. Traveling grace, yeah. So you could only be weeks away, days away, hours away. It really has everything to do with our blueprints, our Akashic records. And it's not going to be for everybody, but they're dispersing thousands and thousands of 3D transmitters right now. You would think a majority of them would be like indigo children and stuff. They're not. Like, here they come. So all like the 70s, 80s, 90s babies, more of the 80s babies, like they're adults now. It's now their turn. They signed up for this. So there's thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands in the next, I don't know the time period, but could be within months. It's not going to be more than that. And it just might take longer to figure out what type of transmitter you are. And it was so clear as day when it came through in that read with the bird, the nightingale bird. And I had no idea what the meaning was. That was Spirit giving us a heads up there too. And I've been staring at this Y for days and been telling myself to move it. And this is, it's feminine energy. Create this. There's so many things behind this, but it's just. I don't even know if I'll get to I Ching now. But it's nice to have. And dynasty was the word I was looking for when I was mentioning I Ching earlier. There's dentistries. I almost said dentistries. Like dynasty. There's, and you don't even have to be a Stargate transmitter. That's only like, I think there maybe was like 5 of those. And then there's other transmitters. The only thing that made sense to me right now in this time period and what I was reading, and this was stuff that was published 10 years ago, stuff you saw people had already published, knowing that was coming in, not even knowing what was going down now. And Nat works with star seeds, Pleiadian energy. So you just got to figure out who you're working with. It's going to help. And I know that seems like hard to say. I mean, I just happen to know who I'm working with right now because I've always known and I've been getting signs for months. But just because I've always known and had that instinct or intuition doesn't mean like I knew. Now I know. Now I'm positive. It's the energy I'm working with. I just had no idea that the ancient Egyptians were linked to paganism, and it's mind blowing. So some of you, the Swahili message is yours, and it might lead you in this direction or that direction, because I wasn't even looking up Swahili. I think I was something with Alexander the Great, I believe. Could have been Horus, but that's when it talked about Nubian queens, and it all stops. And the ones that first started walking this planet. So it was like that knock. But anywho, I will see you guys soon. And it's not just transmitters that are coming out. It is gifts in general for people. So again, whatever was here, where it kept saying second chances, second chances, second chances, second chances, but I was like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like a second chance. Like, they just want me to let you know that was a second chance. So it almost reminds me of the first read we did with like the warning. I don't know. But I will see you guys soon. And I love you guys. And I didn't just mean to like get off that last video so quickly, but you know, I had to. So I love you guys. That just looked purple. Doesn't that look purple? Is that just me? That shit looks purple. That shit is pink, 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 pink. That shit's like fuchsia pink. Love you guys. Sleep good. You're welcome. Bye, guys. Hang in there, guys. Love you. Bye. And don't forget all the little things, certain stuff that I listed are in that video underneath the previous video of coming home. I didn't even really have time. I didn't even have time the whole Swahili thing. That's what it's just. It's going to take a while. This is not an overnight thing for anybody. So I hope that helps. Love you. Bye.